diamonds, do you velvet? 10 times? 13? I've got some notes here that I should look at, but I was not going to do that, you know. I'm not going to do that. But this has been a year that has been just really a remarkable year. And what's kind of amazing about it is you guys are sitting back and listening to this. What's always amazing to me is that we have, out of the top 10 this year, we have, I think, 4 or 5. Half of them are who you would consider to be kind of the old-time coaches, or been around. Like Lindsay Matway has achieved Elite 10 coaches, pretty remarkable, 4 times. Melissa McAllister, 3 times, thank you. Amy Silverman, 2 times, and Melanie Mitro, 2 times. So ability to repeat really speaks to some consistency in doing things right in the business. But the cool thing also is that when you hear these newer somewhat newer coaches, and when you talk, most of you will realize this at some point, is that there's your start date, and then there's your start date in your business. It's kind of like, I signed up as a coach, and I met so-and-so, and I kind of messed around, and, da-da-da-da-da, and then something clicked, and I thought, okay, I'm going to take this for serious, for reals in my life, and I'm going to do something. And then to watch them, these kind of, under the radar coaches that all of a sudden start to create this presence and start to create this wake. And you start to go, is this person for real? No, I mean, seriously, you kind of, from my perspective, you kind of go, okay, are they going to continue to grow? Are they going to be able to hold this position, in this Elite 10? Because there's a lot of people gunning, for that. There's a lot of people going for that. And Anita has been in the running all year long and has been strong, and it's just been fun to watch. One of the strengths of our company is that we are so social media driven. That we're, it's also one of the curses in some respect. We're so transparent. I wish sometimes we could just reel stuff. It's not, stuff goes out so fast. But on the other hand, we're so visible, and you can see what's happening, and you can watch, and you can track, and you can observe, and you can really get a sense for people's personality. And this is a lesson for everybody here. You get a sense for who they are, because you can't fake it that long. You can't be somebody else that long. You can't fake your authenticity that long. And you start to see that trend and that theme. And it's been fun just to kind of be a voyeur, if you will, and kind of sit on the sidelines and watch and see what drives, what drives her and who she is and what she is. And so I am really excited to be here today to get to honor Anita Miron as an Elite 10 coach. She deserves it. She's worked hard for it. She represents the company well. I'm thrilled because I get to go to, I think I do. Anyway, Carl hasn't told me otherwise yet, but we are going to take a trip to France. We're leaving on May 31st. We're going into Paris for 3-4 days, and it's going to be absolutely remarkable. These are trips that we put together that you would never in your lifetime spend the kind of money that we spend, doing the kinds of things we do on yourself, unless you were just filthy, filthy wealthy kind of thing. And even then you probably wouldn't, because we have somebody that just looks and says, what would be the coolest things to do, And so, like jumping off the Eiffel Tower, stuff like that. But, usually it's the husbands that we make do that. So there's always a bad one in the group we're going to throw off. So now, it's going to be spectacular. Then we go out to Normandy, and we're going to bike, and we're seeing some places. I looked at it last week, a couple of weeks ago, kind of our itinerary, and it's going to be spectacular. And the fun part about that is that we do great things, but you'll see the cooler part of it is that you get to know these people and the relationships and who they are and what makes them tick and what the stories behind them are. And it's just a rich experience. And so that'll be a fun thing. And so if you're in this group, okay, And you obviously are because you're here, right? Just everybody pinch themselves, okay? And if you don't feel anything, then tell me. That could happen. It's so cold outside. But here's the piece, though. I'm taking way too long, aren't I?
You want me to get the cane?
Yes. So, but here's the piece. This is important, okay? Is that why not you? Okay, that's what you got to be asking yourselves. I'll steal from my other time. Why not you? Okay, that's the question you have to ask yourself. And because she made a decision, these guys have made a decision to be Elite 10. They're putting themselves on that pathway, and there's no reason why it couldn't be. Okay, someone has to earn it. Someone's going to do it. And so part of the reason that we come together for these Super Saturdays and we share stories and we do the recognition is to hopefully plant a seed, to maybe get some of the scales off of your eyes, let some of the disbelief become belief and hope in yourselves that this could be you. So with that, because I'll save a little bit of that, is that we have just this little package. Anita, why don't you join me up here? This is just a little France, a little trip that will introduce you to France. It has our tickets to France on there. Don't lose this, because if you do, then you're not going. Okay, and this doesn't say your husband. So if you want to take someone else, if he doesn't behave, okay, has that right. We do expect you to pass a French literacy test by the time we get there, and all kind of stuff. But anyway, so congratulations. We're proud of you. Why don't you just take a minute or two and I'll sit down. And then
so much easier to talk on video than it is in front of all y'all. And if you've seen my YouTube channel, I'm like, I got this, but I really don't. Jeff's absolutely right. It was a decision to why not me? And the same question you have to ask yourself is why not you? I put my pants on, although they're really tight. I put them on just like you guys do, same way every morning. Okay, I gotta give you, I was in the shower and I was like, babe, how do I give them a nutshell? If I am asked to talk, how do I tell them in the most effective way about our story? So you guys, I want to share with you a little bit because it's so important and it should inspire you. This time last year, actually December, my debit card was declined at Target. And my entire shopping cart was full and my daughter was sitting there watching me. And I was a 2-star qualifying coach and I didn't make Premier or Elite. And I had an amazing team, but like Jeff said, you have two start dates. I actually had 3. I had my start date, then I had I'm gonna do this to have fun and make a little extra money, and then I had this, I got to get the heck out of my situation right now start date. That was the moment I decided to go for top 10, and I didn't actually make the conscious decision to go for top 10. It was, I'm gonna give every ounce of me to this business that I possibly can give, and if it lands me in the top 10, cool, I'll get a trip. And that trip will be very inspiring to my coaches, but what I really was going for was getting my family out of the storm we were in. I had to leave my job because they didn't have maternity leave, and we were living, that was half our income. And so I left my job. My husband was working as a wedding photographer on the weekend, so I couldn't get a job back in real estate because you have to work the weekends. I wanted to be there for my daughter. And so we made the sacrifice for me to come home, and we had tons of debt piled up. And we had to make hard decisions like, will we fill up the car halfway at the gas tank or all the way? Are we going to buy diapers or cloth? Are we going to be able to drive this week because we are out of gas? And those decisions were new to us because we were making pretty good money combined, but not on my husband's income alone. And when you're a wife watching your husband sit out in the car with anxiety because now he has to take over everything, and he's 26 or 27, I don't know how old you are. 25. He was 25 or something. We were young and just married and so scared, and I watched him sweat, and he was 155 pounds and couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. I mean, we were so stressed out, and I said, I emailed corporate Beachbody, and I said, help, somebody reach out to me, please help, because I want this. I want to learn the ways. Please teach me the way. Kobe, who was with Beachbody, then reached out to me, and I said, what is the way? What do I need to do to drive my business as hard as I can to get us out of this situation? And he said, well, here's your game plan. And then we found out that week that the trip was to Paris, and my husband and I never was able to afford the dream honeymoon that we wanted. And I said, babe, this is it. This is all going to happen. And I was number 55, in December I was number 39 in the company. And when I made that decision, I said, this is it, we're doing this. I'm all in, we're going for it. By March, we were in the top 10. And then by the next month, we were number 5. And I said, what? Nothing changed. I just had a little bit of guidance, but the dream, the heart, and I was backed against a wall, and this was our only hope. And now Eric and I both work our business from home together. We both have the freedom to be with our daughter. We're paying off the debt. And it's hard to share this story because we're still in it. We're still climbing out of a hole. And so I'm not done working my butt off, and my team better know that. Y'all better know that. We are going for it again and again and again, because there's too many people that need help from us. So that's it. That's all I'm going to say. But we did it not for the trip, but the trip is amazing. We did it because this was our hope. This was what we had, and this is what we had in the palm of our hands. Why not? Why not? I looked at the top 10 then, and I said, nothing separates me from them except a decision in time. The same goes for all of you in here if you really want it.